What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Shack. My name is Brandon Natali, along with Dennis Tui. Thank you for joining in. This is definitely going to be a fun episode where we talk a lot about what's going on in the NFL world. Aaron Rodgers to the Giants. That's a possibility. I know Dennis is not a fan, but we're going to dive into that later. The Islanders traded longtime Islander Brock Nelson to the Colorado Avalanches. I believe they got a haul. They also traded William uh, Duclair. Forgive me for that. Forgive me for that, William Duclair. They also added him in the trade, and I believe they got a haul for him too. So a lot of people were telling me, hey, Brock Nelson, great player, but if you're not fighting for playoff contention, might as well trade him for some picks. I know I was a little emotional against the game against the Winnipeg Jets last Wednesday, who are really good, and the Islanders managed to beat them 3-2. So a lot of people were very emotional because they knew it was going to be Brock Nelson's. People knew that it was going to be his last game. Someone was telling me he was retiring, but then I hear that no, that's not it. He's going to get traded. But yeah, all right. A lot of news, a lot of other NHL trades as the deadline is approaching.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot. I just saw the Devils made a smaller trade, and I'm sure other teams are going to be making them too. And some teams are probably going to make bigger trades. It just is what it is these
Right.
teams vie for a playoff spot.
Right.
Yeah, the Islanders, I mean, their season, it's not completely over. Like, it is possible for them to make the playoffs. And obviously, all you need to do is get in. But, like, it's very unlikely. I don't disagree with the decision to move on from Brock Nelson. I know he's a fan favorite and everything like that, but I mean, you kind of got to do what you got to do here. In the conference, they are. Wow, my Devils are really falling apart. The others are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th. But they're only 4 points out of 8 spot. So, I mean, I don't know. You have to jump a lot of teams and a lot has to go right. They need to go on another run like they went on earlier this season when they won 8 in a row.
Right.
But,
It sucks to
barring
have.
that, it's not happening. I mean, I
So,
guess maybe they could take some solace in the fact that my Devils' best player is out for the season and Jack Hughes, so we might slide a little further. But I don't really see too many spots ahead of them opening up. Especially other teams are going to be making trades too. So, yeah, that's I guess the biggest news if you're a New York hockey fan. Aside from that, um, some other teams are making moves too. The Oilers picked up nice piece there. Defenseman Jack Wallman from the Sharks ahead of today's trade deadline. And the Sharks got AHL forward Carl Berglund and a conditional 2026 first round draft pick in that deal. So there's other teams that are making, some smaller moves, some bigger moves. We're going to see what's going on. And a rare interconference trade happened as the Capitals made a deal with the Penguins, sending Anthony
Beauvillier.
Beauvillier.
He was a former Islander.
Yeah, Beauvillier. And I've seen that last name a few different pronunciations for it. So I don't know if he was French or Italian on that, maybe Belgian. On that one, what his ancestry is. But yeah, so anyway, he's leaving the Penguins. He's going to the Capitals as they are still in first place in the Eastern Conference. Everybody's been expecting them to fall apart, and they keep winning, the Capitals. So at this point, I think we got to accept they're for real. And Pittsburgh, they've been derailed with injuries this year. Yeah, I mean, he's only got 18 points going into the Four Nations face-off, the little break they had. So not exactly a superstar, but a good depth piece for a team like the Capitals that are trying to make a deep playoff run and are just going to need bodies down the stretch.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely interesting to see what's going on with the Capital, especially Ovechkin trying to chase greatness and passing Gretzky's spot. Last time I checked, he was 10 goals behind from 885. I'm not sure where he is now, but it's definitely something to watch. I know a lot of people are going to be tuning in.
definitely.
So definitely a lot of
Yeah,
good
it's going to be
trades.
wild.
I know with the Islanders trade, like I said, they in exchange they got prospect Colin Ritchie, first round pick in either 2026 or 27, a conditional third round pick in 2028, and defenseman Oliver Kylington. Team announced. So it's definitely, I think they definitely got a haul for Brock Nelson. So good for them for, like I said, being able to get some pieces back in return. And hopefully they manage to draft well, some good young prospects with those picks. And I like to see how defenseman Oliver Kylington is going to be. And I wonder how the prospect is, because sounds like a big prospect. So Brock Nelson definitely seemed like a lot more than what people thought of. From the Islanders, he was more than what he was. I feel like I don't want to say he had the impact of Traveris, but it feels like it. He was there for a while.
He was there for a
So
while, but I don't know. I never understood the Brock Nelson love from the Islanders fans. I never thought he was that good.
really,
Yeah,
okay,
I know, and I watched all those playoff runs in the early 2020s, which sounds wild to say, but I was watching all those deep playoff runs when they went against the Lightning. I don't know. I was never impressed.
they had a lot of other players too on the team.
Yeah, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I never. At
But
least you guys are finally getting draft picks. Now you just got to draft the right players.
I think to the Avalanche too. That's definitely a good. That's definitely a good trade.
Yeah, at a
That's
conference.
definitely a team that you'd want to send him to, who's really, really good, really competitive.
Right.
So I know a lot of
Keep
teams
rooting
were
for
interested
him.
in Brock Nelson. So I like that is to the Avalanche. If it was to if it was to like the Islanders, then
Even to
oof,
the Rangers.
the Rangers. Yeah, I went to the Rangers.
Yeah, that never happened.
And not a lot of people that would never happen. That's like if I was the GM, if I would make that kind of trade.
They would never trade him to the Rangers or Devils. That's not happening. You never
I'm
trade in your
interested.
American.
I'm interested to see though. I know one of my coworkers. He thought he was going to the Devils.
Really?
He thought it was set in
I didn't
stone. But
hear that.
I feel like that would have been an interesting trade, knowing that Jack Hughes got hurt. They would have liked to have made some moves. But then again, I don't know if they're different positions. Jack Hughes and Brock Nelson. Brock Nelson's in center, who
Jack
did play.
Hughes is center.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah, that would have been a good fit. But I guess not. But like I said, now to have, Ovechkin, it's crazy how long he's been in the league and all he's done. That's good. That's kind of huge though, being able to pass Gretzky for the most goals, um, like in NHL history. So it's going to be interesting to see. I definitely want to watch that whenever the Capitals are playing, and I feel like it's definitely going to be very competitive in terms of the goalie's perspective, because you don't want to be known as the goalie that gave up the goal to Ovechkin. I feel like so it's more competitive, not like where it's like with Strahan and Favre, where Favre just dove. No disrespect, but like, so
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely going to be more competitive, and I feel like it would be in total in any sport, chasing greatness. Like you'd want to stop that. You don't want to be. I don't know. Like you don't want to be known as like the guy who gave up the home run to Barry Bonds or to Aaron Judge.
Right.
So just like this. So, but I definitely want to tune into some games, see how it goes.
Yeah, I want to see it too. I mean, you have the opportunity to pass Wayne Gretzky for most goals all time in the history of the NHL. I mean, that's must-watch television. So Alex Ovechkin doing what he's got to do is, that's impressive. Especially because I mean, the last couple of years he was injured, and people kind of thought that the chance of him passing Gretzky is just completely, falling apart.
Mm.
But I feel like I say too much on here.
You know,
Yeah, I feel like I say it too much. I'm
it's all
taking a
good.
look at some of the other trades. Some of these are actually pretty
Seems
interesting. I saw Yanni Gord went back to Tampa. My team got a defenseman, Brian Dumoulin from Anaheim for right winger Herman Traff and a 2025 second round pick. Herman Traff, I got to be honest with him, that not ringing too many bells for me. I don't remember much about him.
I'm just looking at Ovechkin's stats. He's been around since like 05. Very long time. He's not even 40 yet. Well, he's 39, but still.
Yeah, I don't know why we're sending Nico Daws down to Utica. He was one of our probably our best goalie this year.
Pavillier, that's an interesting trade because, like I said, I remember when he was on the Islanders. He was great for them during those playoff runs they had.
Yeah.
And it would have been cool to see the Islanders win the cup, obviously, with Nelson, but obviously that didn't happen. And yeah. Any other moves you'd like to see the Devils make or not?
I don't know because it's kind of weird because Jack Hughes gets hurt again. And it's like, we've had some really big losing streaks. We had a 4-gamer earlier this season, then we had another 4-gamer. And like that's kind of what we got to stop. Like we got to get on the hot streaks, which we've avoided. So it's kind of like, I guess, kind of similar to like the Rangers earlier this year, where it was like, we know what the potential is. It's just a matter of getting there.
Right.
So you kind of get tricked into thinking like, well, we need this, we need that, but like, don't forget like the talent on the back of the trading card. Like we are one of the best teams in the league. We are.
100%.
It's just a matter of all of our players being healthy at the same time, which is very unrealistic. And losing Jack Hughes, like that's a lot on Nico's plate now, Nico Hischier. And I don't know what we're going to be doing. So they just sent down Nico Daws, which that's kind of disappointing because he was a really good young goalie for us. But now without Jack Hughes, you kind of need those regular skaters out there to do something for you. So I understand it, but I'm not sure. Maybe you want to bring in a more veteran presence somewhere to try and get something going. But I mean, I don't know.
I'm looking at
I don't even know really who's available.
I couldn't tell you much either.
Because I feel like hockey, they're a lot more buttoned up about stuff than the other sports are.
Right.
A lot of times you hear rumors and stuff like that with hockey, and they don't go anywhere.
I'm looking at
Football and basketball. You always feel like around trade deadlines and whatnot. No, it's basically a done deal, and then a couple hours later, you get the alert that so and so was traded. But I don't. I'm not sure. I'm really not.
I'm looking at tickets for Islander games. Is like now they traded Nelson, seeing how the season's going to go, how ticket prices are going to be. I found the Capitals Islanders game. The tickets, they're high priced.
Oh, of course, because you're seeing Ovechkin get close to going after Gretzky.
That'd be cool if it's during the
What game is that? What day?
That game, it's on a Sunday, April 6th, 12:30.
That's a month from now. He's gonna have it by then.
You'd be working, wouldn't you?
I could take off.
I would. Yeah, some tickets are not that bad. If you're willing to,
What are the prices? There's 70 hours of vacation time. I can't take it with me. So
let's see. Yeah, yes, allow. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I can't share the screen, but tickets cheapest is like $100 for like the cheapest seat.
That's a little high, and I don't think he'll have it by then. I mean, I think he'll already have it by then. Let me see.
And, like with fees, it's like $139.
Where are you seeing it from?
SeatGeek.
Oh, yeah, I hate SeatGeek. Unless, of course, they sponsored us, then I would love them.
I love them too.
Okay.
Crazy. You can get a ticket for $5 or $14.
Yeah, he's within 9. He's within 9 right now. So I guess, a month. How many games would they have until then?
I think there's like 20 games left.
No, that's not what I asked. They would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, you know what? That actually does check out.
What?
Because 15 games to get 9, that actually does seem like that could be it.
It could.
And let me go to my site, because my site's a lot cheaper than the other ones.
Yes.
You know it is. You know it is.
You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. No.
Yeah, there's the Islanders tickets.
I need some water.
Disgusted in myself. No, this is actually well, after fees, it's around the same as your site.
So if you're interested, I definitely Sunday. Be cool. See if
I
Vetch
actually, yeah, I see some good ones. Yeah, I'd go.
All right, we'll discuss more of it later.
Yeah, off camera.
If there's any, I feel like Cooper would come too. I feel like Cooper would definitely want to go to that too. We'll get a whole hockey squad.
Yeah, but he would have to be like confirmed yes, because he backs out of things a lot. I feel like
sometime I feel like he would come to that. He'd want to see that. Definitely interesting. That'd be a fun sports weekend. That's when baseball's back around that time.
basketball playoffs start around that time too.
Yeah, it's coming up. Basketball players are coming up too. Now, I feel like we should dive
March
deep
Madness.
into the NBA. March Madness is coming up. Do you have any brackets that you're filling out?
No, I know nothing about college basketball.
Me
I guess
neither.
this year I'm saying St. John's. They seem pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of people are hyping them up, especially.
Coincidentally, same year they get that documentary made. How about that? I'm kidding, but yeah, I don't know. I don't follow it close enough. UConn, I feel like, is kind of a dark horse this year.
UConn's always good. They're always good.
And I feel like they're getting written off too early.
Whether it's men's or women's, they always win. I don't know what Gino
Great program.
Yeah, they got a great program. I don't know how they do it.
Gino, that women's coach, Gino, he's probably one of the best basketball minds ever.
100%.
That dude's insane. That dude could probably turn us into like lottery picks.
He could
go that far.
He's definitely got.
Jump over a phone book.
I know SNY definitely covers them extensively, and that's how I know about him. That's how I know about UConn women's basketball. They're really good. Paige Becker's one of the stars, and other players on the team. But that's how I know SNY covers the UConn games extensively. They have like documentaries about Gino. It's definitely pretty interesting. So it's cool to see UConn is heavy with basketball. But I usually once every year for the past couple of years I've been putting random brackets. One actually I almost hit on. Like one actually I almost like scored a decent amount. I'm hoping that someone does. You know what? I'm gonna text some people because I'd love to be in a bracket. I'm gonna see what I can do about that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about college basketball to have an opinion, one way or the other.
Got you.
So, yeah. I didn't even realize we were live today, and I feel like I've been very unprofessional this episode.
I feel like you've been good.
I got to tighten up.
I don't doubt yourself.
I'll doubt whoever I want it down.
It's true. It is America.
Myself included. It is America. You're right. So now I have to put it on the gram, flip it. Little piece. Fix the shirt. Stand up straight. But Brandon, this is how you advertise.
Wanna we don't go live as much. I feel like this is a good opportunity to go live because it's during the day. People are more up. We had one viewer, they just left. I wonder who it was.
So that's my fault.
Oh, that was you?
No. I mean, it's my fault that they left. Because they stopped talking about sports, start talking about advertising.
Well, hopefully we could get paid for advertising.
That'd be nice.
Maybe one day.
But anyways, back to sports.
But I feel like I'm definitely excited for March Madness, and I don't follow college basketball. So people love it. People
Yeah,
love
they
it.
get really into it.
I don't know. I love basketball, but it's hard to get into sometimes. But I mean, I still like. That's why I've been getting into it more this year than I have maybe in past years. Last year I was big with it because the Knicks were making a deep playoff run. They almost made it to the conference finals, but Indiana said otherwise. Now who knows how it would have went against the Celtics. Um, but now this year they're the fourth. They're the fourth. They have the fourth best record, I think.
Yeah, but they've been losing to a lot of the other more elite teams. They blew a lead, a double-digit lead to the Lakers last night.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. They almost won it
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. Now, did you see what happened with LeBron and Stephen A. Smith?
No.
There's video of LeBron going up to Stephen A. and like confronting him, and it was about something about his son. He got mad that Stephen A. said something about his son, about Bronny, and he addressed it on First Take this morning.
All right, we can talk
So,
about it. It's just kind of sick of that whole channel, to be honest.
yeah, not you don't like
Stephen A.
ESPN.
Network. It's the Stephen A. Network. That's why.
You think so?
You think so? I don't know. You tell me. You think so? It's like, enough already. It's the same tired takes every single episode. I stopped. To be honest with you, I stopped watching all those shows.
Even FS1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because their producers are so out of touch with sports fans. That's why. I'm not saying that we're perfect here. I think me and you, I think it's more of just like two guys just hanging out at a bar, kind of a style, just like whatever was on our mind. But
But then,
those kinds of shows, like it's just like you want to hear something,
I do.
just because it's the Cowboys doesn't mean we care. 99 out of 100 people now could care less about the Cowboys.
They
They
do
they're
always.
America's team. They get ratings. Nah, they really don't. They really don't. People don't care. Like there's other more pressing things in sports we could talk about. Like we could talk about the Alex Ovechkin story.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I don't know. It's like, hey, it's a slow news week. You know what we need to do? We just need to talk about. I can't believe how NBA players aren't playing anymore and load manage. All right, great. Again, wow. Let me guess, you're against it. Oh, who would have thought? I've only heard this exact same conversation 95 times. So, yeah, I'm just done with it. I'm just done with it. I need a higher brow sports media. I like Rich Eisen.
Rich Eisen's great. I love NFL Network. I used to watch NFL Network more than I've been. Like I used to watch them all the time. Like I still watch them. I still do. Like obviously I work late, so I'm up in the morning. Like that's when I'm watching. First Take while I'm playing with the dog, eating breakfast. Like that's why waking up. Like Get Up with Mike Greenberg, who I love. That's what's always on. And then obviously First Take, and then obviously First Take. Like that's when I know I'm in the house too long. Because what I mean by that, I like to get to the gym like early. I try as possible. It's tough. Like the other day, like I said, I slept a little bit late. I slept till a little bit like 10. I don't try to sleep too late. There's people I know that sleep till like in the afternoon, which is crazy to me because sometimes they stay up too late. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, I guess.
So, what's that? Is that that's not a monster, is it?
It's an Olipop.
Oh, okay, good. I gotta try that. But anyways, but the point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to First Take, like that's where I'm in the house too long. I need to get to the gym because I do watch First Take, but I'd like to but like not to stay home all day. But like you know what I mean. So like when I go to the gym, I'd like to get there early. It's too late when you're watching First Take in the morning. But I like Stephen A. Smith. Sometimes Shannon Sharp could be a little bit out of touch. I mean, I think he's funny. But then obviously sometimes then you got Molly Karen. I love Molly Karen though. I think she's sweet.
I think she's fine. I don't know why people hate her so much. Probably just because she's a woman.
I love her though. I think she's definitely she went to Quinnipiac. I think she's pretty intelligent.
Yeah.
But I like NFL Network though. NFL Network. I love. I have it on right now. They got Good Morning.
I can't see
Yeah,
the only sport specific channel I could watch is MLB Network. I think their production is the best out of all the sports channels. Although NHL Network is good too because it's the same company. But
I know Anthony Bove works for them.
I just cool. Like I don't know. A lot of those sports shows I've kind of just stopped watching.
Well, that's why we
It's
got.
like it's so repetitive. They all say the same stuff. It's like enough already. Especially like the topics they beat to death.
It's true.
Like what I didn't think about, like what LeBron James's favorite color is. Could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like they just attach certain things because like, well, it's LeBron or it's the Cowboys, so you'll watch it. It's like I don't care.
Hmm. But I mean, it was a good game though last night with the Lakers.
Yeah, I feel like that tangent went on too long. Yeah, listen, like I like the Knicks on paper. On paper, they should like they're kind of like all the boxes I look for to pick a championship winner. Like they check all the boxes except the box that says you beat good teams. They
Yep.
can't stop losing to the elite teams.
The 0
And the
7.
Lakers are part of that now after acquiring Luka Doncic for a Jersey Mike sandwich. Actually, that's being too generous for a Subway sandwich.
I feel like they played better last night than against the
Mm-hmm.
other elite teams from what I've seen. You know, they
But
were
they still
winning.
blew a 10-point lead,
Yeah,
an
they were
11-point
winning
lead.
though. You know, they blew it.
So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you that the talent is there. I want to see more. First of all, Carl Anthony Towns can't guard anybody. And that's apparent against any team that has a decent center. And Mitchell Robinson's health is just too inconsistent for him to be the defensive anchor they desperately need him to be. Jalen Brunson's obviously a good scorer. Josh Hart offensively is you don't really know what you're going to get from him, but the effort is. I mean, he puts more effort in than anybody in the league. We know that. Their
Jalen
bench
Brunson,
is horrible. Their bench is very, very, very mediocre,
even though they got
and
Mitch back.
I think that's holding back the Knicks tremendously. Well, Mitch Robinson, he's not Will Chamberlain. He's a prototypical defender, defensive minded big. He's not going to get. There's not going to be remember when Mitchell Robinson got hot and had 20 points off the bench? It's not going to happen. So I don't know. I think they're really missing Isaiah Hartenstein from last year.
Yeah, that
But
sucked. They lost him. Even when they traded Dante and Julius Randle, do you think those pieces hurt or not? Because then they got Towns in return.
yeah, like I don't. Dante DiVincenzo is nothing special. Julius Randle's okay, but not great.
He's had an
He gets
injury hit.
scapegoated too much, but he's that. No, I don't think it impacted them negatively. No, if that's what your question is.
All right. But what about what other trades have been going on? Because I know that the deadline for the NBA has been
It passed a while ago,
did pass.
and there was like some big stuff, but nothing like major. My team didn't do anything. The Suns did nothing. We got one dude from the Hornets.
Yeah.
Who's in Nick Washington or something like that.
Hmm.
Not bad. He's a center. We need centers, but I mean, I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
Didn't change much.
But I feel like now we should
Speaking of,
change the ball to football. I know we before we got on the show, I wanted to save it for the show, but I want to hear your thoughts on the possibility of Aaron Rodgers, your favorite guy, potentially signing up with the G-Men, the New York Giants. And I know Chris and my
Lord,
friend
give
Anthony
me
and
strength.
Chris, they were going off on me. They were freaking out when I don't know if they were just trolling me. They
They
might have
had
been.
to be.
They had to be trolling, yeah, because they know. Well, I talked to Chris, and he knows he actually is legit serious that he thinks Rodgers would make them better.
That's
Maybe
so stupid.
maybe he's trolling me then, but they were
That's
freaking out when
incompetent.
they said that they have significant interest in Rodgers, and now the other day we saw that a deal is near. A deal is near. Um, I don't know. I love Rodgers. I'm not going to turn on him and say I'm a Rodgers hater. I'm not. I love Rodgers. Um, I'm not, I still think he has enough in the tank? Maybe a year, sure. So I'm not going to turn. I did defend him a lot on the show, so I'm not going to turn on him. But all I would say is that like, if there's any other possibility for him playing, it probably was the Rams. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe go the Raiders. They got a good spot, but I don't see it as a fit for the Giants. The Giants are not a win now team right now. They just were coming off a 3-14 season. So why would they be considered a fit? In my opinion.
Yeah, because that's not an opinion, Brandon. That's fact. Even though their starting offensive line was completely trounced with injuries, they're always trounced with injuries. It's MetLife Stadium. You play there, your whole team dies. We know that. It can't. We can't do this. We can't do this. He's such like a media circus everywhere he goes. I can't. I
That's
don't
what they
need the
can't do.
headache. I
Like
don't need the headache, especially when we know the team's going to suck, and then we're going to have to keep waiting to hear about it. And he's going to be going on, Pat McAfee or whatever other shows, and
miss mini camps,
I just
which
don't.
I didn't give too much two
The
cents.
mini camp thing I could kind of care less about.
The
The only
media,
reason why I cared about it, and I don't even think he was wrong. I thought the Jets handled it poorly. They should have said that he had this vacation already scheduled, already planned, and we knew about it. And instead, the wording of the release and everything like that made it sound like he ditched it. So that was completely on them. It was an optional camp. It's not. Wasn't it an optional camp? Like it's not the end of the world. Now, I also think and this is kind of where I'm going with this, is in the offseason when all he was saying is we need to start prioritizing winning, and he keeps putting himself into these headlines and into these positions where he's going to be talked about and take away from the team winning. It's like I can't. I can't. It's like our gym teacher, Mr. Shaver, used to say.
yeah.
That the dumb kid burns his hand on the stove, says ow, puts his hand back on the stove. Smart kid burns his hand on the stove, says ow, says I shouldn't put my hand on the stove. The really smart kid sees the other two idiots put their hands on the stove and get burned and decides the stove is hot and doesn't go near it. I've seen this fail with the Jets. Why would I want this on my team?
100%. I agree with you.
So,
That's what I've been saying. Like you see how it was with the Jets.
yeah,
Why would you want that on your team? And like I
we
said,
don't.
I love Rodgers, but I 100% agree with you where he does come with a lot of media baggage. With Pat McAfee, and then also the noise around him where the media just keeps bashing him. So it would be a lot to take on, having Aaron Rodgers on your team. So I agree with you with that. He comes with a lot. Like I said, I still think he has enough in the tank for one more year? Sure. It didn't work out with the Jets, and he was also coming out with an Achilles injury. It didn't work out, But Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, they said it. We want a new face, a new start. So we said goodbye to Rodgers. And
Yeah,
so, like, I agree. Like, if it didn't work out with the Jets, what makes you think it'd be any different? The Giants and the Jets are not that different.
yeah.
So,
The other thing with the Giants is I'm just worried about the offensive line, and at his age, off of his Achilles injury, he was never the fastest quarterback to begin with. He was elusive, but he wasn't. Speed wasn't what he was known for. Um, it's just too many risks. Too much could go wrong. I'd rather have like Gardner Minshew or somebody.
right.
Just
No,
get us through the season. Just
he did
get
get
us through the season. We're not winning the Super Bowl. We're not making the playoffs. Just get us through in one piece so we could get a high draft pick and move on.
and it's definitely you guys definitely Giants need a veteran quarterback, but it definitely don't draft a rookie. But I don't think it's just a fit. And nothing against Rodgers or the Giants, it's just not a fit.
Yeah.
And we can go on forever about it, but I'll forever say that it's not a fit. Maybe I'm wrong. But I hate hearing it from the people that's saying like, they're gonna win a Super Bowl, they're gonna be great. Like you
Nobody's
guys are just
saying
coming
that.
off a 3-14 season.
Nobody's saying that.
Chris is
He doesn't mean it.
probably doesn't. Nah, he's probably just trolling because they know people know how I am with the Jets. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I know you know how I am. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited for free agency comes up next week too, and there's been a lot of stuff going on around, and we're gonna get to that in a second. So I'll be away, so I'm definitely excited for our fantasy MLB fantasy draft. So we'll talk about that in a bit. A lot to talk about, but there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of players seeking trades. I'm excited to see what the Jets are going to do. I want to see who the quarterback is going to be. They're definitely going to sign a veteran. whether it's Marcus Mariota, Justin Fields. Hopefully, I would love for them to get Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to draft a rookie quarterback. I don't think it's the right time for it. I think difference between the past regime and this regime is that the Jets shouldn't draft a quarterback, which I not saying I'm against the quarterbacks in this draft. If they got Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, I wouldn't be upset. I just don't think it's the right timing. You know, start off the new regime, just get your footing in, see how it goes, and then if you want to next year, if there's a quarterback you like, go ahead. I just think the Jets have a lot of things going on where they shouldn't really draft a quarterback. If they do, hey, good for them. But I want them to also sign a veteran like Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, or Tyrod Taylor. Well, actually, they have Tyrod Taylor. They might hit on Justin Fields, like say Sam Darnold was to the Vikings, or to Baker Mayfield was the Bucks, or Geno Smith to the Seahawks. But it's the Jets, so you never know. But maybe, hopefully, this regime is different than the previous regime. And hopefully Woody stops meddling like he's been, and hopefully it could be different. But yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see what they do with the quarterback position. That's my question for the Jets this offseason is what are they going to do with that? So yeah, no, it's yeah, everything I just said right there. Free agency is definitely going to be interesting. I know DK Metcalf requested a trade as long as Tyler Lockett getting released, so that was not a good day for the Seahawks. Jonathan Allen is going to be released after he had permission to seek a trade. A lot of players are given permission to seek trades, which confuses me. Like, are you allowing them to talk to teams and be like, "Hey, I want to go to this team,
Yeah,
trade
that's
me to them"?
that means.
Yeah. So, where I guess it's different. Where organizations they don't tell you where they want to get trade. Like, they trade you somewhere, you gotta go there. No, I guess that's good professionalism, where it's like you give the player the opportunity to go to a place they'd want to go to instead of unexpectedly, like with Luka Doncic. Except Lakers are a good team, but you know what I mean. It was unexpected.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious about the whole DK Metcalf Tyler Lockett thing. What's going on in the Seahawks, man? Jackson Smith and Jigba's good. He's my keeper in our league. You know that, so you know I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, he's taken over as number one.
But it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. The whole DK Metcalf, I mean, he was supposed to kind of be one of the next big wide receivers. I don't mean in a literal sense. I mean it in a,
I
he
see
was
it.
kind of projected to be kind of like that new age Calvin Johnson type. Randy Moss, super athletic, super big wide receiver. Obviously, the guy's strong. He's built like an ox. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. That being said, I can't wait to see him play for the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers definitely they should be looking for a high level talent. Number one, it's amazing what they're able to do without Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They did great. It's easy. Jim Harbaugh brought a great culture and great coaching to that team. That's really all they needed. Nothing against Brandon Staley, but that's what happens when you get great coaching. And so, Lad McConkey turned out to be a stud rookie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting how they're going to pair him up. I'm excited what the Chargers are going to do for them. They might sign Keenan Allen back, even though he's kind of up there in age. I think they're going to want him go younger at the position. But to bring him back, because hey, why not? Give him as much receivers. Give Justin Herbert as much receivers as you can. It's definitely interesting to see. I saw someone suggested, I forgot what channel I was watching, but they suggested he goes to the Packers. And the Packers are definitely missing a number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams might also go there as well. If I'm Devontae Adams, I would go back to Green Bay. Why not pair up with Jordan Love, a great quarterback? But they said he might go out to the West Coast. So I could see Devontae or DK going to the Chargers. What?
Jordan Love might go to the West Coast?
No, Devontae Adams.
Oh. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted.
Maybe I said it wrong. My apologies. But there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
in terms with the Seahawks, I don't know. I don't know if they're prioritizing Geno Smith or with Tyler Lockett. It sucks because he was a long-time Seahawk. They both felt it was time to move on.
You know where I could see DK Metcalf going? Different coast, different conference, most cap space available, New England Patriots.
I saw that, but I heard he doesn't want to be traded to New England. But they might still trade him either way. He might go there either way.
Okay, well, you can
Maybe, but
fun.
it would be a good trade. that would be a good trade for Drake
He
May.
can
One of
have
my,
fun not getting extended to as much money as he can get. So
he does want a new contract. He did say that.
right.
Yeah. So we'll see. But it's definitely not good for Seahawks because that receiving room is definitely going to lose a lot if they keep it up. So I don't know what they're going to do if they lose both DK now and Lockett. They do got JSN, but still, that's
Then yeah, you're down from 3 good receivers
the one.
to 1.
And we'll see. But like
Even
I
then, like
said,
1 elite receiver in JSN, 1 border elite in DK Metcalf. You never know what you're going to get from him week to week, and 1 really good in Tyler Lockett, who's just consistent. I don't
I'm
know why
excited.
they released Tyler Lockett. That's
I guess
bizarre.
they wanted to move on. Maybe
Why?
I'm not sure.
I
They
think
just
that's more fascinating than Metcalf. Strange.
it's very strange, yeah. But what are you gonna do? It's definitely interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I know I see this on.
You can see Lockett
Uh,
going to the Buccaneers.
some people connect him to the Raiders because that's where Pete Carroll is. And a lot of people say Russell Wilson might go there now, so that might be a
Oh my
pairing.
gosh. Why would you go to the Raiders if you're a guy like that?
You never know. I think
Yeah, Brandon, they're gonna win the division. They're gonna go to deep in the playoffs. Come on, get real. If they get 5 wins, I'd be shocked.
well, who knows what's going to be like when under Pete Carroll. And
Brandon,
people forget that he's the head coach. So
Brandon,
the
are you
Raiders, I think,
serious?
are
You're not
worse than the Jets.
serious.
The Raiders, I think, in my opinion, are worse than the Jets. But
Wow, really?
but who knows how Russell Wilson? I think if Russell Wilson goes there, it might be different. Pete Carroll, he might follow him, but who knows? I don't know if that's the reason why he left Seattle in the first place. But like I said, I like to not doubt the Raiders because they actually, I think, got good coaching for once. And Tom Brady is kind
They
of
do.
steering the ship. I don't know if you've seen. He's actually taken a lot of control of like operations there.
And they extended Max Crosby.
Yeah, they gave
They
him the youth.
have Brock Bowers, but again, they have so many holes, dude. Their team is Swiss cheese. I mean, they don't have a quarterback. They don't have much of a run game. They really don't have any run game. If you look at the stats, their offensive line is horrible. Aside from Max Crosby, their defense isn't anything to really be concerned with. They have a coach in Pete Carroll, but it's going to be his first year in the system or establishing the system. You know how sometimes the first year for coaches in the NFL is hard, no matter how experienced they are, because the team has to adapt. Uh, I mean, if you're trying to win now because you're getting up there in age, kind of weird.
Right. But we'll see. But either way, I'm interested to see where Devontae Adams goes.
I could see
That
him go to the Chargers.
he should go to. That'd be a great pairing. Lad McConkey in the slot or at the outside, and then you got well, I don't want to say Quentin Johnson because he's got butter hands, but he's been better. He's been better. But you pair him up with the Chargers, I think that'd be a great combo. That'd be scary, especially to compete against the Chiefs, who just traded Joe Tooney to the Bears. We'll get into that later. Or I would love to see Devontae Adams go back to the Packers. I would love to. He never should have left in the first place. I don't know what was the problem with not playing with Rodgers. The reason he left was because he wanted more money, and then he didn't know the uncertainty with Rodgers. He thought Rodgers was going to retire, and that was going to be it. But what was the problem with Jordan Love? Like you telling me you couldn't have played with Jordan Love either? Jordan Love looks great. So I think you pair him back with Green Bay. I think it'd be great. It definitely would do wonders, and it was great seeing him as a Packer. Or, you know, so he definitely still has a lot enough in the tank. I think he's still elite. So I like to see where it goes. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him on the Chiefs. Go to I don't know why teams don't go to the Chiefs. You got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks out there. Like DeAndre Hopkins went there.
Because I don't think they offer the money.
It's probably
Because they know what it's like to win, how to win.
But that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
hate to say it, but the teams that pay the most money for the wide receivers and the superstar players, they usually don't win in the NFL. Now, I know it's like, well, look at Saquon. Fair point. Everything else was already there, and everything else was already on the cheap.
but I think, well, what are you gonna say?
So no, that's what I was gonna say. So
But I think the Chiefs are pretty established as well. They got a great culture with Andy Reid
yeah,
and the rest of the coaching staff there with Steve Spagnuolo as defensive coordinator, Matt Nagy to take either way, they're great coaches and they got a great team all around. So that's my other thing too. I think they're established as well. Why wouldn't you go there? Eagles are pretty established too.
yeah, we're saying the same thing. What I'm saying is like you have teams like that they already have everything they need.
So why take on another
So
superstar?
why would I spend $20 million on one player? I don't know how much Devontae Adams would get at his age, but for instance, why would I get $20 million at Devontae Adams if I can get 3 wide receivers for $5 million each and an offensive lineman for 5? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why they avoid all that and just try to build through the draft. However, I think the Eagles absolutely rainmaking them in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl and how close they were to losing throughout the season and how honestly they're probably the luckiest team to ever make the Super Bowl is that talent is going to start to matter whether they like it or not. So maybe they will splurge a bit. But even then, with an aging Travis Kelce, an aging Kareem Hunt, I mean, you have a lot of holes offensively you need to overcome. And one thing's for certain, I'm curious to see because now he really got punched in the mouth, so to speak. Curious to see how Patrick Mahomes handles it because his effort throughout this season was not good. Statistically, he was worse than Aaron Rodgers in most categories.
Okay.
So
I'm interested to see what Kansas City does now after people could say that after the Super Bowl loss that they had against the Eagles where they got whopped, that they could be that could be the end of it, but they could easily come back and have a rebound season and go on another Super Bowl run. They
definitely
just traded away Joe Tooney, so I wonder how they're going to fill that hole. That shocked me, and good trade for the Bears because that was a great trade. Trading Joe Tooney is so underrated. I was looking at his stats. He only made the Pro Bowl. He only started making the Pro Bowl his second year in KC. And he was with New England for those, for the 3 Super Bowls that they were in. They won 2 of them, and obviously he has been to he's been to what? How many? Like 6 or 7 Super Bowls. He's been to 2016 against the Falcons, 2018 against the Eagles, 2019 against the Rams. Then he went to the 22 with the against the Eagles the first time, against the Niners. So that was his 6th Super Bowl he's been in, and then now, I think he's either 6 or 7. Either way, he's definitely an accomplished guard. So it shocks me that he only made the Pro Bowl just recently. So, but a great trade for the Bears as Ben Johnson starting to put around Caleb Williams. Sucks they couldn't do that with Justin Fields. But I like that. I like that trade. So I wonder how KC is going to fill that cap though with Joe Tooney gone now.
Probably through free agency or the draft. I mean, you were just talking about how experienced Joe Tooney is. With experience in sports comes age.
He is 32.
Old for a guard.
Also, they trying to prioritize re-signing Trey Smith, the other guard. So that might be another. They did franchise tag him, so that's going to be interesting to see how they do that. And yeah, so I'm definitely excited for free agency, and then the draft's coming up. I know the Jets have Kirk Cousins linked to them, but if he gets released, the Falcons are really trying to hold hostage to him.
I want no part of Kirk Cousins.
Oh my god,
he couldn't throw I don't even think he was able to throw 50 miles an hour this year or something like that. His arm looked shot.
He was again coming off an Achilles.
In his arm, yeah. I understand people say, coming off the Achilles, it takes time or whatever. His arm was shot. Either he was playing through an injury or he's done. The guy can throw over 50 miles an hour. He had the weakest arm in the league by far for a quarterback. So I don't know, man. The second he got taken out, the Falcons looked way better. Granted, he played against some of the tougher teams of their schedule, but still, I mean, they looked way different when he was in out of the lineup.
Right. So hey,
So
you know
I
what?
don't know. I would
We'll
avoid
see.
it.
But I'm definitely interested to see. I'm excited for NFL free agency, and I like to see what the Jets are going to do.
Real
Gonna be
quick,
interesting
what'd you think of before we move on? What did you think of Joey Bosa getting released?
I'm shocked, but I'm not. I guess he's the last San Diego player.
I know, I saw that.
That shocked me. I didn't know that.
I didn't.
That was
Yeah, I didn't realize he was on San Diego.
which they never should have moved out of San Diego in the first
They
place,
never
in my
should have.
opinion. They never should have. But that's another
They
discussion.
went
That
from a rabid fan base to playing 17 road games a year.
yeah, essentially. I know Philip Rivers literally drove from San Diego to Los Angeles every day to where they're playing, which I thought was ludicrous, but credit to him. It's true. Look it up. That's what he was doing. But Joey Bosa
It's
getting
like a 3-hour
released.
drive.
He did it. Look it up. I'm not lying. He
Maybe
was.
that's why they lost.
But in terms of Joey Bosa getting released, it definitely was shocking. But not, I guess, because he was getting up there in age. They saved $25 million in cap, so I guess but at the end of the day, it's a business.
To get some of those wide receivers. And in all fairness to Joey Bosa, him and his brother, the epitome of glass cannons. Great genes. Two brothers in the NFL. Neither one of them could play 3 games in a row.
Nick Bosa.
It's right. It was the right decision to make, but it was surprising nonetheless.
He definitely was a great passer. I remember when Joey Bosa first came into the league, and then also seeing, obviously Nick Bosa. Yeah, they both have. He's definitely had some injury issues the past couple. He made it to the Pro Bowl. I don't know how.
They're
but,
good, yeah.
So I mean, hey, good for him. He was great for his start of his career. Still great. So any team that gets him is going to be lucky to have a pass rusher like him. So hopefully he gets better. He can stay on the field. His brother, I rather have his brother. Nick Bosa, I think is a more better pass rusher. I don't know, but he's not healthy as well.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I mean, the past couple of years, he actually has been healthy, except this year. He missed 4 games this year. But I remember he did tear his ACL or his Achilles in the second game of the year, 2020. That was against the Jets at MetLife Stadium, the turf monster.
He plays games, but he's another one. He's always on the sideline. Always. They have him sitting down for drives and stuff like that because, he's coming off the field with this. Oh, well.
But so now let's move. I think we should anything on baseball quick before we wrap up the show.
First of all, I'm excited for baseball.
I'm excited.
Second of all, I'm excited for baseball. Third of all, Brandon, I am excited for baseball. Let me ask you, Candelita not coming back to the Mets. Jose Iglesias. Say it with me, Brandon. Oh, my God. Going to the Padres. The guy who made the song, oh, my God, going to the San Diego Padres. Is this a way of saying Jose Iglesias? Isn't Iglesias church in Spanish, too? Is Jose Iglesias going on a crusade this year?
I'm not sure.
Wait a minute. He might be a sneaky fantasy pick.
If you want to pick him up. But if I take him now, don't hold it against me.
Yeah, it does mean churches. All right, the stars have aligned. I'm locked in. Jose Iglesias, comeback player of the year. All right. But yeah, as a Met fan, how do you feel about that?
It sucks a little bit. I mean, it was great. I see the reason for David Sturtz not signing him back.
I don't.
I do want to keep the OMG in 2024. This is more stupid. You think so?
Yeah, stupid.
Look, I would have loved to have had him back. It does sting because I think he's great. He's a fan favorite. I loved him. I loved what he did last year for the Mets, and I thought he was a great player. He was hitting over 300 in only like 90 games. That's another thing. Great hitter. So I don't know why David Stearns will let him walk like that. I don't, and especially with the injuries they've had in spring training, I don't know what made sense to not even have him on a minor league deal, especially for only
Right.
like 3 years. Like no, not for a year for 3 million. So, and I don't know. I don't know if David Stern just didn't want to deal with the headache anymore, or the OMG wanted to put that back and leave it in
What
24.
headache?
It's not a headache. I don't know.
I don't get. I don't
I'm trying to
understand it.
see it from David Stearns' aspect, from
I
what
know
he.
you're playing devil's advocate. You're a very reasonable guy, buddy, but
I definitely think
it's a stupid move.
they should have resigned him back. They should have.
It was stupid not to bring him back. I don't get it whatsoever. I understand they want to give some of the younger talent an opportunity, but what if those guys are busts?
Not Acuna. Acuna's not a bust.
Okay, great.
Proven.
We've seen players have excellent 1 years before.
I'd
Great.
rather have Acuna up there than Beatty. I'm tired of seeing Brett Beatty. I love Brett Beatty. No,
Nice.
no disrespect, but he's a minor league Hall of Famer. And then you bring
Great.
him up. You bring him up in the majors. He has maybe a month or two of greatness, and then he's back to like below average. I'd rather
Yeah,
see Acuna than Beatty.
great. But my thing is, what if they're both busts? To not even have him in the organization as, a contingency plan, I'm surprised. Not even a prove it spot.
Sure.
The locker room loves him. The fans love him. Maybe because the fans like him so much, they don't want it to be a distraction. But I don't like that either. So I just thought it was an interesting move. I kind of thought going into the offseason, everybody thought he was going to be back with them. And we're just waiting for them to work out the money. But it seems like the Mets emphatically did not want him. And that's bizarre.
Well, it's good to see that he did sign with a team.
Yeah. I would have reminded him on the Yankees to play third.
Yeah, JJ Jastrzemski on the SNY Sports Night, which I love watching. I watch it every night. He was furious because he said it. The Yankees, he's tired of seeing DJ LeMahieu. Why not have someone like him on the Yankees?
Yeah.
So if I sign with the Yankees, I guess he want to do that to the Mets, or maybe the Yankees didn't offer him a contract.
No, they didn't. I think, as far as I know, the Padres were the only team that did.
What's up, Kyle Turi? Hope you're doing well. I know you are.
Oh, cousin Kyle. Good to see you.
Kyle, yeah.
Real quick, Kyle, you're a big Met fan. What do you think about Jose Iglesias? Or is that in the chat? I can't see.
That was in the chat.
I'm curious what he thinks about Jose Iglesias. Anyway, moving on. I thought Justin Turner's comments about the Mariners were very interesting.
Right. Do you want to read it off?
I would love to read it off.
Would
you like a dramatic reading, or would you like me to just read it normally?
Give the dramatic reading. Why not?
Dramatic reading. Why not?
Go ahead. Why not?
I don't really know how Justin Turner talks. I can't do an impression.
I agree. A minor league deal is crazy.
Justin Turner on the Mariners. Inactivity this offseason. Read by me, Dennis Dewey.
Go ahead.
Oh. Didn't mute yourself, buddy. The fact that they missed the playoffs by one game and didn't go out and add an impact batter to when you have the best pitching staff in baseball just seems absurd to me. Honestly, as much as I wanted to be back there, if I was the only piece they brought back in, I'd be saying the same thing. What the hell are we doing? Are you trying? Justin Turner on the Mariners inactivity this offseason. I agree with him. You make the playoffs for the first time since Moby Dick was a guppy, and immediately you start missing the playoffs again because you guys can't add free agents. Brandon, why did they have the 20-year drought to begin with? Because they never signed free agents. So I don't get it from them. They have great pitching, and they have, I'm just going to say it, really sucky hitting. Horrible hitting. Julio Rodriguez didn't have a great season last year. Kyle Raleigh's okay. Ty France is okay. Randy Arozarena, they didn't get from him what they wanted.
Right.
JP Crawford is a Jekyll and Hyde player. Almost like a Hall of Fame Jekyll and Hyde player. You never know what you're going to get with him offensively. And it's, the rest of their lineup is just mediocre at best. guys that could defend well, but none of them can hit. It's just bizarre to me that they haven't been able to ever sign a free agent. It's like they actively try not to sign free agents, which is stupid.
Even after getting Robinson Cano way back then.
Well, that was the only time they ever really did, and Nelson Cruz. But like the rest of the team, like I don't know, man. They're not looking. I'm not impressed. I'm certainly not impressed. As a matter of fact, I'll actually look at their roster, so I'm not just talking out of my rear end, like I have been. Roster, hitters: Blake Compton, Cal Raleigh, Ryan Bliss, J.P. Crawford, Tyler Locklear, Miles Mastrobuoni, Dylan Moore, Jorge Polanco, Leo Rivas, Austin Shenton, Donovan Solano. Donovan Solano's okay, but 37 years old. I don't know. Randy Rosarena, Dominic Canzone, Mitch Haniger, he's okay. Luke Raley, he's okay. Victor Robles, Julio Rodriguez, and Mitch Garver. He's another one you never really know what you're getting out of him. Very inconsistent. So I don't know. I don't see that lineup as being anything other than, a below 500 team lineup. So I don't know. And commenter Kyle did respond that he's going to miss Jose Iglesias.
Yes, he did.
I agree. And the fact that he only got a minor league deal was nuts. He should have went to Jose Iglesias would have been a good candidate for the Mariners. Because, like I just said, I just read off their lineup, their roster right now. That's the 40-man because it's spring training, so you have the expanded roster. Not many of those guys are moving the needle there. Weird.
All right. I guess anything else on that topic with the Mariners?
No, I don't know. It's got to be frustrating if you're a fan.
I agree.
Especially if they're missing the playoffs for that long. Ugh.
Trust me, as a Jet fan, I know that feeling. Hopefully
they 20 years without a playoffs. You make it once, you get swept, and then you miss it again. Oof. The good thing is their division isn't that good.
I'm looking at teams that have the longest playoff droughts. You got the Broncos. Well, the Broncos just broke that. So had to be a while ago. The Red Wings, the Hornets. I know
the Sabres.
The Tigers broke it too recently. I know the Angels almost crazy. It's crazy they make a playoff with Shohei. That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of the Angels, apparently Mike Trout's going to be playing left field for them.
I saw that.
4 years too late. They should have been doing that the whole time.
They've just been keeping him in center?
I don't know if it's a need, like a want kind of a situation. Like they want him to play the corners and he didn't want to leave center. But, he's so injury prone. They're a weird team.
All right, I guess that wraps up the show for today.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else worth talking about.
What?
I said I didn't see anything else worth talking about. I didn't say that.
Let me see what I can do.
I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear. I always can hear you. I can hear you.
What was that?
I could hear you.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
Give me a thumbs up. Oh, wow. Okay, all right, you can hear me. That's weird. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I think that kind of does it for the show. Like I said, thank you guys for joining in. I'm Brandon Talley of Sports Shack, along with Dennis Tui of Sports Shack. Hope you guys have a great day. Stay well, and hope everybody's excited for March Madness.